Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here, hope you're well. What we're going to do today is take a look at an old game that came out on a console called the Atari. And the original Atari, I think this was 2100, I could be wrong, I can't quite remember. It was in 1972, years before I was born. But if we take a look at this, in these days, it was considered quite a forward-thinking game because it moved from a thing called an oscilloscope, I believe. Actually, you could see one over here. This is where it originated from, I believe. And it was the first time that it had entered people's front rooms in their houses, and you could connect this to the TV. So it became like this new entertainment centre for families. So if we take a look at it, it's very simple. You'll have seen this before. And you can see that, if you can hear the sound in the background, I think, these little paddles here, they move up and down, and the ball bounces off this, goes over a net, or a make-believe net, and slowly the ball gets faster and faster, okay, and you get a score. So if you have a look at this corner here, you can just make out what it actually looked like. It had this kind of wood look to it, and a single joystick, and sometimes you had two joysticks, and a two-player game, which is what we are going to make. So over here, this is in arcade Makecode. We're going to go through this together, and then we're going to go and develop it ourselves, based on the ideas of Pong originally. So let's just go into full screen here, and let's see this. Now we've got the ball moving and bouncing around, and as it hits the paddles, I'm going to have got a two-player here. It's going to hit my paddle there, and my score comes up. Okay, I can move this paddle up and down as my other player, and then W and S, but moves this up and down the other way. There are some things that we need to learn about this, and that is, this is very, very basic. There's no score where if this hits the far wall, I don't lose and it doesn't start again, for example. Okay, so this is very, very basic, and therefore it's for us to go and make something 3/4 of the way, halfway, depends on what you want to go and do, and then you can go and build it yourself based on little snippets that I've got for us after this. Okay, so this is more or less the code that we're going to be using. Okay, it's not incredibly difficult. However, there is a little bit of maths involved, because we have to understand things to do with velocity, which is speed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back to my home. I'm going to go and make a new one. I'm going to call this Pong 2. Let's go and put this year 6. Let's call this Pong. Let's go and first thing we want to go and do, of course, is create our assets. Now, in your asset builder, the one thing that we can go and do, of course, is go to the plus. We can create an image, and what I'm going to do is make a paddle. Now, when you're here, you've got to understand that down in the far corner, which is over there, you can see these numbers, and you'll have these numbers, and they're 16 pixels by 16 pixels. When you shrink this down, I think, is that the right way? Just going to see if that moves it. Yes. I'm going to put this 4 pixels by 16 pixels, and then I'm going to go and colour this in. So I've got a fill tool. I'm going to go and put this as green for this one, and then what I might do is I might go and put some borders around it. I'm going to make 2 of them, and then I'm going to make a court to play on. So I'm just going to pause this, and then I'll come back with both paddles finished. So what I've done is make 2 different paddles, different colours, and you'll notice that at the bottom, just down here, I've named them paddle underscore L for left and paddle underscore right R for right. So you need to give them a name. When you go into these, you can go and edit them, and you can see I've got a name here, just to make it easy for us to organise our assets in here later on. Okay. So next, what I want to do is go and create a I think my camera may have paused, but what we want to do here is go make a black background. And we can make a black background. In fact, you can make any color you want, really. I'm going to go make it black because what I would like to have is some kind of snow, confetti, star field in the background while we're playing. The sizes here are not going to be 16 by 16. This is the full scale of, if I thought I had it with me, I do have it with me. It's around here somewhere, but we are going to play on the Meow Bits. We have to put our games onto here, and the screens are 140 by 160. So I think I'm going to put 140 by 160. I think this is correct. So we have that. In fact, that's not correct. It's 160 by 140 because remember it's 3 by 2. 160 by 140. So the aspect ratio is that. Again, I'm going to put a name down here. I'm going to call this BG just for background. And that's easy to remember. I generally always call backgrounds BG. So there we are. We'll go into our blocks and on start. And you'll notice that if you've used this before, you'll notice that I will not have the start menu filled this time. We're going to use functions later on. This is getting quite long, this clip, so I'm going to stop in a second. I'm just going to go and put my game on start, which is going to be my scene. I'm going to go get my background image, and I'm going to go to my assets, get my BG, and I forgot to colour it in, didn't I? So I'm going to go colour this in, done. And what else do I want to do here? I want to go and get a white line. I'm going to go through here, like so. And then what I'm going to do is get a pencil, and all I'm going to do is go through this very quickly and just use a black marker and go through it and go and hit done. That's my background, and that should pop up like that. Great, now I'm ready to go and set my sprites, which we'll do in the next clip. Alright, as always, good luck.